Hello, everyone. It's me, Miss Crystal, and welcome back to the second episode of Miss Crystal's podcast program, MCPP. And I can't believe it. We made it to the second week. And I truly never thought that we would make it, but we did. Now, here's the deal, and I want to be transparent with you guys. I want to say that the ratings are taking off. I want to say that this podcast is number one. I want to say that the comments have been off the chart. But truth be told, as I am recording this, I haven't even put out the first episode. Oftentimes you will hear podcasters say, last week so-and-so said this. Well, I can't do that because I have not put out the first episode. I'm on a schedule where I'm trying to, what is called in the podcast world is banking. I'm banking some episodes so that there's never a week that you come onto your YouTube and there's an absence of me. I want to be here every Monday. Every single Monday, without fail. So let's say I break my hip one day and I think, oh God, I can't put out a podcast. Well, because I am smart, I will have already recorded maybe 1 to 2 episodes. That's where we are. Just being transparent. Remember last week, which for me was 2 days ago, because I recorded 2 days ago. Last week I said something about this is like a pyramid scheme. And I want you to be in on the ground level. I want you to be in on the ground level. And there's no other way for me to say it. People who are in real life and on the internet, this is an example. You could say, somebody will say, man, I love that band, Dave Matthews Band. And then another person will say, I've been listening to them since their first album. Well, let's say somebody says, I love Ms. Crystal's podcast program. And you could say, I've been watching since the first episode. You'll be cool. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to convince you of something that you don't want, but you don't want to be a person that's only, and there's a fly in here. There's a fly in here. Why is there a fly? Do I have a dead body in here? No. Did I take out the trash today? Yes. What else are flies attracted to? Doo-doo. Is there doo-doo in here? No. I don't know why there's a fly in here. Anyway, as I was saying, I want you to be here from the start. Retroactively counts, but it doesn't count as much as someone who's been here since 1. And since we're at 2, that doesn't say a lot for your longevity. And that's my welcome. And I would like to welcome my guest again, Safety Man. He is back here. He has different hair this week. And that's because we try to keep things fresh around here. While my hair might stay the same, Safety Man's will change. And that's a good reason for that is because maybe someone who's walking by the window and sees Safety Man in the window, they're going to say, oh, that's a dummy. That's the same guy. They're going to think this is a different man. And they're going to give me street cred because they're going to think that I'm out here banging multiple men, which I am. But they'll get to see it for their own eyes. How was your week, Safety Man? He don't say much. How was your week this week? Did anything good happen to you? Well, something good happened to me and something bad happened to me. Something good that happened is the swimming pool here on my complex is now open, and I went for the first time earlier today. There were several people there, families of children. Mr. George was down there, and he was wearing a Speedo, which is fine. I'm not going to say men shouldn't wear Speedos. I'm just saying you're at a swimming pool, sir. You don't have to wear a Speedo. Wear a regular bathing suit. Anyway, I'm laying in a beach chair, relaxing. I had just put on my sunscreen and, was just had my little speaker there. I was listening to the Beach Boys, and a little child comes over to me and says, "What is that?" And I said, "What is what?" And the child pointed to my lower regions, because I have a bathing suit on. And I said, "What are you talking about, little child?" And the child said, "What is that black stuff?" And I looked down and I noticed protruding from my bathing suit area was quite a bit of pubic hair. And I hadn't noticed that before I left the house. It's something I probably should have noticed, but I didn't. One of the reasons being that my abdomen hangs over that area. So I was not expecting to see what I saw. Should this child be placed in jail? Yes. Don't come over to me when I am enjoying time in the sun, listening to the Beach Boys, and point out a flaw. There are many women out here who say, "Hey, you should be able to have your pubic hair if you want." And I'm one of those women. But to the extent that the pubic hair was crawling down my leg and up my abdomen can only be compared to, if you live in the South, you know what kudzu is. Kudzu is a very fast growing invasive species. There could be a piece of kudzu on one side of the street at 10 a.m. and then by 5 p.m. a whole vine could have grown. Me comparing my pubic hair to kudzu is relevant because if you were to see me naked, you would see a large patch in the size of a rectangle that would start just about under my belly button and go about mid-thigh. Did I think that somebody would be brazen enough to point that out to me at the swimming pool when I'm enjoying the Beach Boys? No. Will I be filing a formal complaint with the apartment managers? Yes. If you have a child, which many people do, and I can't figure out why, if you have a child, tell them to use their manners and not tell elderly people or point to their idiosyncrasies. That's all I'm saying. That's how my week went. But yeah, it's good. We have the swimming pool open. It's bad because we have derelict street children bothering me. They should make swimming pool time that's adults only. Let your kid play in a baby pool. Get them one of those little baby pools at the Dollar General for $7. Fill it up and have them sit in that. Don't have them come around me when I'm trying to enjoy the Beach Boys and insult me. And that's the reason why I never had kids. Because kids, they say, oh, kids say the darndest things. They say the most ignorant stuff. They say stuff like, "Hey, lady, why are you so fat? Hey, lady, what's taking you so long in the restroom?" And sure, children are wonderful and they're God's gifts, but they're also little terrors. And I've said it time and time again. One of the absolute worst places on earth, or as I describe it, hell on earth, is if I died and the Lord sent me to hell, it would be Chuck E. Cheese. Not the eternal flames of hell. It would be a Chuck E. Cheese. Children screaming, children eating the worst pizza on the planet, children pushing and shoving me out of the ball pit. I'm just trying to have a good time in the ball pit, and children are pushing me. So you know where I stand on children. I'm glad you have them, and I'm glad you love them, but keep them the heck away from me. Especially when I'm at my swimming pool enjoying the Beach Boys. And I never did like the Beach Boys until I found out John Stamos plays drums for them. Instant fan. So that's how my week went. Am I going to go get waxed sometime this week? Probably, so that I won't be tortured at my own swimming pool. Anyway, let's get on with the program here. Are you ready to get on with the program, safety man? Doesn't matter what he says. We're going to get on with it. It is time for Hunk of the Week. The process in which I pick the hunk of the week so far is, I think in my head, who is somebody that is so hot that I've thought was hot for many, many years? Who is somebody that I wouldn't mind being married to? Who is someone that gets my loins going? That's how I think of it. And this week I thought, this is someone I've loved since I was very young, a child even. And his name is Michael Landon. There's that damn fly. Right when I said Michael Landon, it flew by. You probably can't hear it because this microphone cannot detect the sounds of an insect, but I can hear it going and disrespecting Michael Landon. Michael Landon is deceased, and I'll just tell you that now. So don't think that you're ever going to have a chance to meet Michael Landon. Who is Michael Landon, you might be saying? Michael Landon is the man that played Charles Engles on Little House on the Prairie. He also played a man in a show about heaven. I think he played an angel. Never watched that show. Didn't need to watch that show. I watched him on Little House on the Prairie where he played Paul. And if you were a child like me that seldomly spent time with your own father, Paul was like your dad. And he was wonderful. Not only was he handsome, but he also took care of his kids, took care of his wife, stood up for people that were being abused. I remember there was an episode where a drunkard was abusing his child, like punching him. And Mr. Engles went over there and punched him in the head. And you might say, well, Crystal, you can't solve violence with violence. You can on Little House on the Prairie. When you're Charles Engles. One episode that really touched me was, they all touched me, but one where Mr. Engles, Paul, had taken an extra job so that he could buy his wife, Carolyn, a beautiful set of dishes. I believe they were fine china. My voice is kind of gravelly. He took an extra job with a widow, and the widow was like, hey, Charles Engles, can you come by and do some woodwork? I think it was woodwork. And Charles said yes. Now, there is a shop owner whose name was Mrs. Olson. She was the mother to Nellie Olson, who was the show's bully. Just to be straight, she was a bully. Miss Olson sees Charles Engles and this widow together and starts making up rumors, Oh, I saw your husband with the widow. And Carolyn's like, what? And she couldn't check his phone like people do now because they didn't have phones back then. They might have had the one where you hold it like this and go, real old timey. So she couldn't check his phone. So Carolyn's freaking out thinking her husband's cheating on her. And in my head, I'm like, there ain't no way that Paul is cheating on Ma. There's no freaking way. But as the story went on, they made it look like he was cheating. And to have your pretend father, your surrogate TV father, potentially cheating on your TV mom, devastation ring. Anyway, it went on, and Carolyn's fretting. I think she snuck over there to peek on them, and they really hyped it up, making it look like Paul was cheating. Well, then he did the big reveal. Oh, I've been doing this extra work to get you these beautiful dishes. And that's when Carolyn was like, God, I am such a piece of shit for thinking my husband was cheating on me. I'm a piece of shit. But that's what they do on TV. They ramp it up and twist it to get you to feel some type of way. And that's probably why I was in love with Charles Engles, because they manipulated my feelings. And if you have Roku TV, you could click on live TV and it pretty much plays Little House on the Prairie 24 hours a day. Right next to my other favorite show, Dateline. And I don't know what it is about these Roku TVs. They want to play shows 24 hours a day so it's available to everyone. And I appreciate that. So go check them out. Just Google Charles Engles. Go to Roku TV and tell me in the comments below, were you ever in love with Charles Engles? And if you're a guy and you're afraid to type it because you think people are going to think you're gay, don't be afraid. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. If somebody thinks you're gay because you say Charles Engles is hot, then they're the one with the problem. Glad I got that out of my system. But yeah. Do I think Charles Engles would have been alarmed if he was able to see the size of my bush at the swimming pool? I don't know. I mean, it was in the old days, everybody had a bush. They didn't have laser therapies and waxing. I don't even know if I think they shaved with a straight razor. So you ain't bringing a straight razor anywhere near my crotch area, sir or ma'am. And that will end Hunk of the Week. Da-da-da-da. Hunk of the Week is finished. And now we're moving on to figuring out the figurine. And if you like these segments, let me know in the comments. If you don't tell me, because it will break my heart. This figurine today was given to me by someone at a show, and they had it wrapped up with bubble wrap. They had it wrapped up with tissue paper, and it made its way to me unharmed. And this beautiful figurine, especially right now in the country when we're so divided, and I'm not going to get political, but we're all divided. But this stands for America. Look at that, an eagle. Not only a beautiful eagle sitting here, but a golden one up here. And some people might say, well, I'm not proud of America right now. Well, We're not going to get into that. It's not important. What's important is that this is some sort of seashell that has real gold around the edges and is made from pure, genuine ocean seashell, I think. I'm not completely sure, but I can't imagine that this is not seashell. What do you think this means? Can you help me figure this out? Seashell plus eagle plus gold. What do you think it means? And I'm going to see what this says here, but I can't see it. It says eagle landscape. That's it. Damn, I wish I could see. Let me put on my other glasses so that I can see what it says. I need to get a new prescription. On Eagle's Wings by Terry Isaac. Heirloom porcelain ornament collection. 2001. Okay, so this is a vintage. And it says on Eagle's Wings. And the person, I don't know if you heard that, but I accidentally hit my bell. Listen. I got this bell and set it here in case I have to do something that requires me to go. Often podcasters use sound effects like a bell ring. I don't. I have this. But what I was trying to say was the person that gave this to me, and I'm sorry I cannot remember your name, knows that my favorite religious song is On Eagle's Wings. On Eagle's Wings is a song that is sung predominantly in a Catholic church and predominantly when someone passes away. It's a funeral song, and I will sing a little bit of it to you right now. And he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. So imagine you pass on and you think you just are going to levitate up to God. Well, according to this song On Eagle's Wings, God will raise you up by placing you on an eagle's wings, regardless of your weight, whether you weigh 10 pounds or 300. He will place you on the wings of an eagle, and then the eagle will then fly you up to heaven, which is a beautiful symbolic gesture. But anytime I heard that song as a child, I guess I went to a lot of funerals because I remember hearing it a lot. I would just burst into tears. The symbolism and the visuals of thinking about your dead loved one or your dead neighbor or just a random person because your parents would take you to funerals just to get free food. The visual of that deceased person on an eagle wing is one of the most beautiful things I believe I've ever thought about. Because you think about after you die, just sort of a light, and you just go, let me put this over so I can get the full effect. That's how I think about getting to heaven. But think about you, and I'm assuming you're going to be dead, but not laying down, so you're just standing on the back of an eagle wing. And the eagle is flying you up to heaven and then depositing you. I'm assuming he's going to put his wing out like this, and you're just going to walk off. That's the only way I want to get to heaven. Don't beam me up like I'm an alien. Let me walk off the wing of an eagle. And that way God will know, oh, she's here standing on business because she just got off an eagle. And then I'll say, just like Justin Bieber said, he said something, and I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, do you not see that I'm standing on business? Or something like that. I saw it on TikTok. That's what I'll say to God. I'll say, I'm standing on business. And he'll say, I'm sorry, ma'am. Is your name Crystal? And I'll say, yeah. And he'll say, I think you were supposed to go. And I'll say, are you pointing to your crotch, God? And he'll say, no, you're downstairs. And then I'll have to get back on the eagle. I'll be like, hey, come back. Get back on the eagle wing. And I'll say, hey, bro, I don't know if you're going to charge me for this extra trip, but big guy here said I need to go downstairs. And that's where he'll take me to the local Chuck E. Cheese, where I will spend hell and eternity with children. And they'll be fake children, because no child, as much as I dislike a child, even a child shouldn't be going down there. So they'll have like hologram kids running around a Chuck E. Cheese that has flames all around it. And the balls in the ball pit are 1,000 degrees. And I'm like, I just want to play in the ball pit. And yet the balls are searing and burning my hands. I really got off. That's one thing about me. I can get off topic. We were figuring out the figurine, and now I'm in hell. And that will complete the figurine segment. And moving on to voicemail. Voicemail. It's time for the voicemail. Hope Safety Man is ready for voicemails, because last week he was more ready than I was. All right, here we go.
Hi, Ms. Crystal. It's your friend Robert from Illinois. Couple questions. First, who does your hair? Because it is just beautiful. It really is.
Oh.
Also, I was wondering, do you ever let your hair down and just, show off those beautiful natural curls? It's really lovely. Okay, Ms. Crystal. Talk to you later. Bye.
Wow.
Hi, Ms. Crystal.
Robert from Illinois.
Hi, Ms. Crystal.
Darn it.
Hi, Ms. Crystal.
Hello?
Hi, Ms.
Robert.
Crystal. Hi, Ms.
Robert, shut the hell up.
Ms. Crystal. Hi, Ms. Crystal.
I guess we're just going to be listening to Robert for the rest of eternity.
Couple questions. Hi, Ms. Crystal. It's your friend Robert from Illinois.
Robert, shut the hell up. There we go. I don't know why that happened. I know exactly who Robert is. I met Robert in, I can't remember what the, Bethalto? No, not Bethalto. What's that damn town called? There's a town. Oh, what is that? It starts with a B. Anyway, I met him there this summer, and I wasn't wearing any pants. I will say that. And it wasn't because we were hooking up. It was just because I was walking around without pants on in the club, because it was before a show, and I happened to glance out and see Robert. Oh, damn it. My bad. Something's happening. I glanced out and saw Robert. What in the Sam hell is going on here? And I had to go out and say hello to Robert, because me and Robert have communicated online for years. This is pissing me off. So the question from Robert was, where do you get your hair done? And you might be surprised to know that I go to two places. I go to Great Clips or Fantastic Sam's. I go to Fantastic Sam's for my perm, and I go to Great Clips for my cut and color, because they both serve a different purpose. Fantastic Sam's is not a color. They don't do color good. They do perms good, because they've been doing them since the 80s. And then the next question was, do I ever let my hair down? I don't. And the reason is because men go wild. When they see me with my hair down, I can't keep the men away. And that's the answer. I mean, Robert, because when you saw me, I had my hair up and you could barely keep your hands off me. In a good way, not a bad way. But thank you for your call, Robert. I'm sure we'll be seeing each other again sometime, and hopefully this next voicemail I play will not play over and over again.
Hey, Crystal, it's Matt. I'm gay, but I might convert back for you. But no, wait, I won't, because actually Harry's really hot. All right, thanks. Have a good one. Keep doing what you're doing. Bye.
Okay, Matt, that was very nice. And the highest honor, when a gay man says to you, hey, I might change back. That's the highest honor, because they're going to change their whole sexual preference just for a one night stand with you. I mean, damn. Thank you, Matt. But then I noticed you said, but probably not, because Harry is really hot. And you're talking about my friend Harry, who is a very hot man. And I'm going to have to agree with you. If I was a gay man and I saw Harry, I would stay gay. Even though Harry is not gay. Harry is a very attractive man. And that's why I hang out with him. That's why he's one of my good friends. Very attractive. But also, nice guy, good friend. He's not just a piece of meat. Anyway, thank you for your call. I appreciate you saying your name, and I appreciate you saying that you would be straight for me. That means a lot. It's nice. Thank you. Appreciate you. Just got word from producer Aiden, my neighbor, that we have surpassed the 30-minute mark. And that's when we can take a breath and say, thank God. We have a product. We have a product that's at least 30 minutes long. And we can breathe. All right, moving on.
Ms. Crystal, I have a question. I need to get back out in the dating world, and since you have all of the advice and get all of the luck, what would you share with me? Where should I start looking? It's been a hot minute, and I need this cat taken care of.
Oh.
Thanks.
That is an 815 number. Did not say your name. First of all, 815, I'm just going to say this. Dating now sucks. Everybody ghosts you. Everybody wants a one-night stand. Sometimes guys will act like they want to meet you, and then they will pleasure themselves while talking to you, and then that's it. They have no intention of meeting you. Dating in this year, you might as well stay alone. And I hate to say that. These men out here don't want to invest time in you. They don't want to invest money in you. You get on a dating site, okay, and let me sit up. Get on a dating site, you have your picture up there, and nobody is swiping on you because you look like this, which is beautiful. The whole swipe system needs to be done away with, because you can't determine if you're going to love somebody by looking at their picture. And it's usually a picture of a man holding a dead carcass or a dead fish. Now, immediately I'm thinking to myself, is this man going to kill me? It looks like he likes to murder. Right there, red flag. So you're going to see a lot of that on the dating sites. Be prepared if that's the choice you make. Be prepared for that. And then you'll see a lot of pictures of, I don't know your age, but if you are to see the men that are in my age group, you're going to see a lot of blurry pictures. You're going to see a lot of pictures that are taken down here with a man looking like this. You're going to see a lot of pictures that you can tell was taken on a camera in 1993, and they're trying to pass that off as recent, but it's like, I haven't seen that kind of a Coke can since the 90s. You know, I can determine how old the picture is by looking in the background. It's like, wow, that McDonald's cup, that is a very old cup. They haven't made that cup since 1983. So you're going to get a lot of that, a lot of catfishing. You're going to get a lot of scams. And these men will talk the world to you. They'll say, oh, we're going to do this and that, and I'm going to rock your world. And then they come over and do you know what for 3 seconds. And it's like, where's the guy I was talking to? I'm not trying to discourage you. What I'm trying to do is give you what's really going to happen. You're going to have to go to different places. I suggest bingo. You know, if you want to meet a more elderly guy, maybe go to a park. Not at night, during the day. Where else could you meet? Honestly, grocery store. It's hard. The dating sites are not where you want to meet a man or woman. You didn't say your preference, did you? Another thing you're going to run into is someone posting pictures and their pictures look too good to be true. And you're like, why is this young model interested in me? And that should set off a lot of flags, because what it is someone in another country using someone else's picture to extort money from you. And the second they start saying, hey, my ship, I work on a ship in the Navy, and our ship needs a new rudder. Can you send money? Don't send him money. I'm living proof that he's lying. He's not really on a ship. And if he was on a Navy ship, the Navy would buy the rudder. He wouldn't have to. So just be prepared for that. I hope that you have success in finding the love of your life. We all are searching for that. Lord knows the amount of men that I've been through to try to find it is can only be described as excessive. And perhaps I'm looking at it wrong. But yeah, good luck to you in your dating journey. You might find that being single is probably the best way to go, unfortunately. And we will just do one more here. This looks long. I can't see what it says. And I will press play shortly.
Well, hey, Ms. Crystal, this is Leanne. I am a long-time viewer of you, and I just love you, girl. I just love you.
Thank you.
I was wondering if maybe once a month you could have one of your favorite listeners come stay with you for the weekend, and we can hang out and have fun and party and just even do nothing, just hang out and talk and make dinner at the house and just have a good old time. I think that would be amazing if you let us do that. If you let one listener, one fan a month come stay with you and hang out. And we could sign papers to say we wouldn't bring our phone or whatnot. And that would be so cool. Just think about that. That would be amazing. So yeah, please reach out to me. My number is
don't say your number. We're going to have to bleep that out.
76. Thank you, sweetie, and have a good night. Well, hey, Ms. Crystal.
Oh, good God.
This is Leanne. Well,
It's
hey,
going to
Ms.
keep playing. Why does it keep playing? All right, it's off. I'm not going to answer that, but Miss Crystal, the puppet, is, because when I feel like I'm in a situation that feels awkward, she's going to have to answer for me. And first and foremost, thank you for your call, Leanne. And I'll just let Miss Crystal Puppet take it away. Hold on, I got to fix her hand. I got to put the hand thing on the other side. If you haven't met Miss Crystal Puppet, this is Miss Crystal Puppet. Looks just like me. Hey everyone, it's me, Miss Crystal Puppet. And what we are not going to do is have people come over once a month. Okay? We're not going to do it. I am not having Miss Crystal, be nice. They just want to come over. Nope. Nobody's coming over to my home and cooking dinner. Okay? I can barely keep it together myself, much less have other people come over and cook dinner. I mean, maybe you could just have somebody come over for, I don't know, an hour. No one's coming over here. Even a nice person named Leanne. Okay. It's all right. Furthermore, Leanne, I don't cook, you know. I don't cook. She said it, so I didn't have to. And I appreciate your call, Leanne. But the reason I can't have nobody come over here is because she doesn't like people. It's not because I don't like people. It's because I don't have an extra bed. And I would not have a guest come over and sleep on a couch. No, she doesn't like people. Anyway, that's going to end our voicemail segment. And like I said before, I do not screen the calls beforehand, and I probably should. I'm not opposed to people coming here, but like I said, I have only a couch, and it would be unfair to let you sleep on a couch. Now, something that I could maybe do that would be similar is maybe do a mukbang with someone in a car. And also, I'm a hoarder. I'm embarrassed to have people come over here. I have just piles of just magazines and old mail and figurines, and that's embarrassing. But thank you for the voicemails. Keep calling in. Of course, our number is, I think it's 615-200-7193. I think. If not, I'll put it on the screen. And let's see. I want to do the heirloom of the past. It's time for heirloom of the past. And this is a segment that teaches young people about old things, and it lets old people feel nostalgia. When I was a child, I would sometimes go to my friends' homes, and they were rich, and I would go into their restroom at night to get a drink of water, and they would have a solo cup dispenser hanging on the wall, and you could take a cup out and get a little drink of water. Now, in my home, we never had these because we weren't rich. And you could get them in different colors. You get them in any color. You could get little Snoopy cups. You could get little, pretty much any kind of cool design you could get. Now, this is a fancier one, and someone gave this to me at a show, and I don't want to say your name because I don't know if it's the right name, but this would hang on the wall by the sink. And families that were rich had these. Families that took care of their kids had these. Families that, cared. Look at this. Families that cared about the well-being of their children getting up and getting water at night. I mean, just look how cute this is. A solo cup dispenser. Nothing better. Just drinking. You're drinking magic. When you're getting up in the middle of the night thirsty as a child, and you're drinking this, you're drinking magic. You're drinking love. It's not just water. It's magic. So yeah, that's what we used to drink out of. All you young people, if you never heard of this, look into it. It says safeguard your family's health with hygienic plastic cups. The reason someone got me that is because they heard me talking about how my family never had one. So she brought it to me in St. Louis and said, I know you've always wanted one of these. Here you go. And how can me, Crystal, as a person who has a fan that is willing to bring them a cup dispenser that they've always wanted, how can I then turn around and say, no one's coming to my home? What kind of monster am I? Anyway, let's move on to the creation of the week, and then we're going to get out of here. This creation was handcrafted by me, and if you watched last week's, there was a fella that talked about the guy at the fair, at the craft fair, that was selling hummus and was talking trash about my Christmas tissue cover. Again, you've got a box of tissue. You don't want to just set that out on your counter because it looks horrible. Who wants this? This one's broken, but you don't want this plain thing sitting there. You have Ms.Crystal's Creations, LLC, whip you up one of these bad boys. No longer are you ashamed to have your tissue box sitting out on the open. Red crocheted yarn. The front, I did not make this little Santa Claus face. I bought this and then crocheted it into there. And we always say, oh, that looked like Tammy. A lot of my creations and figurines look like Tammy. Tammy with a mustache. But yeah, I wanted to show this because this is one of my favorite crafts that I've made. And the fact that someone made fun of this is upsetting. But I'm going to let the light shine. I'm going to let my light shine through my creations. And this will be a testament of time because long after I'm gone, what's going to be here? The Christmas tissue cover. That's the creation of the week, which brings us, friends, to the end of the program. And I don't like this part. I don't like this part of the program where it comes to the end because I'm enjoying sitting here talking to you. Even though I'm the only one talking, I feel like I can hear y'all talking to me. But it's time to say goodbye. I don't want you to fly away on the wings of an eagle. I want you to stay, but we gotta go. 'Cause I'm paying Aiden by the hour. We don't want to get an extra hour 'cause we have to pay him again. But I love you. This has been Miss Crystal, and may you be blessed beyond your comprehension. See you next week. Bye-bye.